last lectures, we were discussing about the upper extremity movements. Yes, the PNF pattern of the upper extremity. Now that we know about the upper extremity, I would like every one of you to do it once so that you remember the pattern. Brain remembers the movement, not the muscle. Yes, so we need to, if we want something to be learned, we need to do it on ourselves first and then we'll be able to do it for the patients. Yes, that is the most important thing. So I would like every one of you to do it. Turn on your camera. First, we'll describe about the D1. Please, it is needed for your purpose. Do it. Turn on your cameras, every one of you. I am here to guide you. I am here to teach you if you are doing something wrong. Yes, so turn on your cameras first of all. Every one of you, yes. The first pattern that we are discussing was D1. So for D1, it will be chopping. Yes, as we had already described. D1, if we want to do for D1, it will be very simple. This will be the ending position, flexion, adduction, external rotation. From here, we are moving to extension, abduction, and internal rotation. So, this is the motion. Yes, we have to learn turn by turn. So, say for example, when you are teaching the patient is so you will not tell them to do it the whole pattern. It will be simultaneous. First, you will teach flexion extension. Yes, flexion extension of the wrist. Then you will teach flexion extension of the flexion extension of the fingers. Then the wrist. Then the elbow. Then the shoulder flexion, abduction, and rotations. Yes. If the patient is not able to grasp, or if the patient is having paralysis, you will teach the whole movement then. First, you will do it passively. Passively, patient ne કરી બતાવવાનું કઈ રીતે કરવાનું છે. Your grasp will be as such. How the grasp will be, how you will be providing, that will be a separate lecture itself. But for now, we will be doing component wise. So, if this is the starting position, if you are grasping from here, throwing it down, jumping method. Yes. So, this is the starting position for flexion. Yes, extension, abduction, and rotation. So, here you will go for wrist flexion along with finger flexion, elbow flexion, moving the shoulder into flexion, abduction, and rotation. Yes. Opposite. From here you are starting. First, what you will do? First, you will start with extension of fingers, extension of wrist, extension of elbow, and then moving the part into extension, abduction, and rotation. Yes. So it should be always component wise, not the whole movement together. It should be component wise. Then, if the patient has learned all components, if you think the strength is enough, then only you start and perform for the whole movement. પહેલા એક એક component થી start કરવાનું. Then, after you add all the components simultaneously together, you can perform the motion. This was D1. Opposite of which is D2. Only difference is abduction. Here it was, you can say adduction. Here it is abduction. So, this is flexion, abduction, external rotation. From here, you are moving downwards. So here you can see elbow is in extension, wrist and fingers are also in extension. Whereas this motion had fingers, wrist and elbow in flexion. That is also one of the difference. So when you are doing this, first finger flexion, wrist flexion, along with that elbow flexion, moving downwards, flexion, adduction, and moving it into, extension, adduction and internal rotation. Moving into flexion, doing first wrist extension with finger extension, elbow extension, moving the hand into flexion, abduction, and rotation. Yes, so this will be the ending position. So ending position is the name. So this is D2 flexion. This is D2 flexion. From here, if you start, it will be D2 extension. Yes, I hope everyone is clear now. Okay. Once we are clear with upper extremity, and we have seen also how it is going to help for movement. We talked about combing of the hair. We also talked about grasping things from the same side, grasping things from the opposite side. Those were the places where unilaterally, with using only one hand, it is helpful for the patient to do activities of daily living. Yes, this will be helpful for the patient. Moving forward to lower extremity patterns. So for lower extremity patterns, the first thing is flexion, abduction, internal rotation. Now to demonstrate this, I have to have a plate which is not physical at this moment. So I'll show you how it is done directly on a patient. So flexion, abduction, internal rotation, extension, adduction, external rotation. That will be D2 pattern. Flexion, adduction in external rotation will be D1 flexion, and D2 flexion will be extension, abduction, internal rotation. To get things a bit clear, what is the difference between upper extremity and lower extremity? I have just noted something. If you can see it, note it down. It will be very important for you to understand and to remember also. Yes. So upper extremity and lower extremity. This is the only demarcation that we have. Upper extremity D2 and upper extremity. Yeah. So upper extremity D2 pattern, if we see, there was in D2 pattern flexion, abduction, external rotation. This was D2 pattern. Yes. For lower extremity, same thing. Flexion, abduction, if I may. This works. Flexion, abduction, if I'm doing this, flexion, abduction, and internal rotation. Yes, internal rotation of femur. We are talking about the hip joint. So when the foot is moving into internal rotation, the tibia will move out. Yes, this is internal rotation. Flexion, abduction, internal rotation. Yes, opposite of this will be the extension movement. That is extension, adduction, external rotation. Yes, so extension, adduction means crossing the midline. So crossing the midline and external rotation. So moving it outwards. Yes, it is not visible for me to perform. I'll show you. But for now, just remember theoretically, only one component is different in D2 flexion and extension of upper limb and lower limb. Upper limb માં flexion, abduction, external rotation હતું. એક જ component change થાય છે. Flexion, abduction, internal rotation. So instead of external, there is only internal. Opposite. Similarly, extension, adduction, internal rotation હતું for upper limb D2 flexion. Similarly, D2 extension, lower limb માં D2 extension માં ખાલી external rotation થશે. Yes. If you remember just one difference, આ તો એનું opposite જ થવાનું છે. Yes. And lower limb and upper limb D1 flexion and extension are completely same components. Flexion, adduction, external rotation, extension, abduction, internal rotation. So D1 flexion extension for lower limb and upper limb is same compared to components. Yes, we are just talking about components. If you can note it, please do note it. It will be helpful for you to remember while practicals are being performed. Okay. So, how it is helpful? The first thing, that flexion, abduction, internal rotation. This is flexion, abduction, internal rotation. So this is D2 flexion. Yes, you can see flexion. It is in flex position. There is abduction moving apart laterally, and this is internal rotation. By internal rotation, the femur is moving inwards. That is why the tibia is moving outwards. Always remember, for the knee joint, for the hip rotations, do not consider knee joint as reference. Never consider tibia as reference. Consider femur only. Yes, whenever you are sitting down and you are moving the leg outwards, yes, if your knee is to be flexed, yes, and you are moving the leg outwards, that is internal rotation. Why it is opposite? Knee is flexed, tibia is moving outwards, the femur is moving inwards. That is why it is internal rotation. Yes, so this is more of internal rotation. Opposite, extension, adduction, external rotation. Do not consider the label, there is a mistake. It will be extension, adduction, and external rotation. So this is extension, complete extension. Patient is having foot completely extended. Adduction is crossing the midline. आप अपने पग से तो crossing the midline is adduction, and external rotation, opposite of internal rotation. So here knee is extended still. Now knee is extended to tibia and femur same side move. So that is barley side. Yes, so that will be external rotation. So flexion, abduction, internal rotation to extension, adduction, and external rotation. This is D2 flexion and extension of lower limb. Lower limb, D2 flexion and abduction, so flexion and extension. D1, same components as upper extremity, flexion, adduction, external rotation. So this is flexion, adduction, yes, moving the foot medially, and there is external rotation, that is moving the tibia. If the knee is flexed, moving the tibia internally. Yes, that is external rotation of the femur. So you can say sitting down with one leg on the another is D1 flexion of lower extremity. D1 flexion of lower extremity is nothing but keeping one foot over the other. Yes, while you are sitting down. That is D1 flexion. Opposite of the components, extension, abduction, internal rotation. So this is extension. Comparatively, this was flexion. This is normal is also extension. Ideally, it should be, if done in supine line, it will be completely extended. Neutral position of that hip. Abduction, moving outside. Amahatu, adduction, moving inside immediately. So this is laterally, and internal rotation. Knee is flexed. So their internal rotation is tibia moving outwards, femur moving inwards. So that is D1 extension. Yes. So if the patient is supposed to do, now directly from this you can get how important it is. Yes. This movements can help the patient achieve functional independence. How? It will help the patient to sit properly. Also for the lower extremity clothing. Yes, lower extremity માં જ્યારે પણ clothes પહેરવાના હોય કે કાઢવાના હોય when and where, then it will be very helpful activities. You can see how the patient is wearing shoes and taking the clothes on or off. Both things are possible with such PNF patterns. That is why they are functional patterns. We use PNF specifically for functional patterns. Yes, activities of daily living easily patient કરી શકે એની માટે જ આપણે patient ને આ teach કરીએ. Okay, once the patterns are completed, we move to why these patterns are as such. The first, patterns are named according to the direction of the movement and therefore finishing, not the starting position. જ્યારે પણ આપણે patient ને teach કરી છે, whatever we are naming, say for example flexion, adduction, external rotation. So this is the end position. જે આપણે starting માં જ વાત થઈ, upper extremity start કરવા પહેલા. Flexion, adduction, external rotation. This is the end range. This is the end motion. આપણે start અહીંયાથી કરવું પડશે. Yes, and then we have to move and bring the leg into this. So that will be termed as flexion, adduction, external rotation or D1 flexion. In completing the pattern, the muscle contracts throughout full range from its lengthened to its shortened position. Now to understand this, જ્યારે પણ આપણે start કરીએ છીએ, say for example, we take example of D2. We are used to D2. Yes, so D2, we are doing D2 flexion or extension. Reply. If this is the starting position, it will be D2 flexion or D2 extension. You can unmute yourself or write in the chat. If I am starting from this position, અહીંયાથી start કરું છું, ending position will be this. So it is D2 flexion or D2 extension.
D2 extension.
Very true. It will be D2 extension. Why? D2 flexion position is starting position. We are naming the pattern according to the end position. So અહીંયાથી start કરીને અહીંયા જશું. Yes. So this is D2 extension. Now starting from here, you see the muscles of the wrist finger, muscles of the elbow, muscles of the shoulder, બધા જ stretch position માં છે. Yes, complete stretch position માં. From here they will lengthen turn by turn and will cause the whole movement. Yes, once the whole movement is completed, it is contracted throughout the range of motion. From full extension of wrist fingers, it will move from full flexion of the wrist and fingers, full flexion of the elbow, full extension, full adduction and rotation of the shoulder joint. બધા જ muscle full lengthen position માંથી એકદમ short position માં થશે throughout the range of motion. That is why it is much more helpful. એક સાથે તમે ઘણા બધા muscle ને stretch કરો છો અને એમને contract પણ કરાવો છો. Yes, two things simultaneously. That is why it is written completing the pattern. એક pattern complete કરશું, the muscle contracts through full range from its lengthen to its shortened position. Lengthen, completely lengthen, stretch position માંથી એકદમ shortened position માં આવી જશે. Yes, so that is what means this statement. There are two again types of pattern. આપણે upper extremity D1 જોયું, upper extremity D2 જોયું, lower limb D1 D2 જોયા. આ બધા એક સાથે પણ કરી શકાય. આપણે જે વાત થઈ કે આ બધું unilateral છે, bilateral પણ કરી શકાય. So that is the same thing. Unilateral means one arm or one leg is performed. Upper extremity એક જ હાથથી કરું. Yes, and doing it with both hands. that is also possible. Yes. Bilateral, both arms or both legs or combination of arm and legs can also be done. Symmetrical and asymmetrical. Bilateral કરવું હોય તો આને હું D2 માં લઈ જાઉં અને આને હું D1 લઈ જાઉં. Yes, that is also possible. As asymmetrical છે. આમાં D1 થાય છે, આમાં D2 થાય છે. બંને એકસાથે D2 પણ કરી શકે છે. This is symmetrical. બંને D2 કરે છે. Yes, D2 flexion and extension. That is also possible. So symmetrical means limbs move in the same pattern. બંને D1 અથવા બંને D2. Asymmetrical means limb moving in opposite pattern. एक D1 करसे बीजू D2 करसे. So that is also possible. So this is bilateral asymmetrical. This is also termed as chopping. Yes, as we were talking about D1. Yes, bringing it down. This is D1. Yes. So if this is D1 and I am doing this D2, yes, it is very difficult to understand, very difficult to perform also if you don't know the components. But if you do know the components, it will be very easy to get the patterns. So you can see this hand is in D2, this hand is in D1. Also opposite. Yes, this is the starting position, this is the ending position. This is the, you can say this is in flexion, this is also in flexion. So this is the starting position for extension, this is the starting position for flexion. Yes, D2 and D1, same thing. Bilateral asymmetrical lifting, that is changing the motion, nothing else. D2 flexion, D1 flexion, D2 extension, D1 extension. Yes, it is the same thing that we have already described, but they are being performed simultaneously, nothing else. How it is helpful? Again, શીખી તો લઈએ, પેશન્ટને આપણે ટીચ પણ કરી દેશું, શીખવાડી પણ દેશું, but then what will be helpful for? So first is lifting off from a chair. જ્યારે પણ આપણે D1 perform કરવાની try કરશું, the end range will help the patient with elbows and wrist motion to stand from a stable chair. Yes. Also, if you are teaching D2 flexion bilaterally, that will help in removing of the clothes, upper extremity or upper clothing, whatever the patient is wearing. So it will be helpful for removal. So this is helpful in symmetrical patterns. બંને D2 or બંને D1. Also bilateral asymmetrical grooming. Yes, wearing earrings, combing the hair. Some people do use both the hands. So there also asymmetrical motion is happening. One hand will be on the same side performing D1, opposite will go for D2. So you can see the patient is trying to wear an earring. So that is also an example of bilateral asymmetrical patterns of PNF. Here, everywhere. In whatever activities you do, even if right now you are sitting down holding your phone, you are in middle of a pattern. Yes, this is the pattern. You say, for example, D1. In the middle, you are there holding the phone. So all the functional activities that you are performing are through PNF. Yes, that is what is the basic principle of PNF, to provide functional activities to the patient. Okay. Third important thing that we are talking from the starting, Pelu has a principle, second will be patterns, and third will be technique. Yes. So now we have completed principles in which pattern was one of the component, and now we are going to provide techniques. If our patient ne apne teach kari dei, once we know what all movements are possible through PNF, we will give it only and only through such techniques. Remember all the 7 names: rhythmic initiation, combination of isotonics, reversal of antagonist, repeated contraction, contract and relax, hold and relax, and replication. Yes. Out of all this, more specifically, these 2 techniques are used for stretching purposes. Stretching ma PNF stretch alta. Yes, in PNF stretch, these names were there: hold and relax, contract and relax. We did not go that much in detail in stretching, but here we will be seeing them in detail because it is part of PNF. Yes. So this is stretching, so mainly related to orthopedic condition. Orthopedic is related to bones and muscles. Majority of the other techniques that we are going to learn are related to neurological conditions where brain, spinal cord, and nerves are affected. Yes, so keep this in mind, and we may use other techniques that we have mentioned in neurological conditions. We may use it in other conditions also. May say, for example, cardiopulmonary condition also PNF is, respiratory patient PNF is also present. So first technique we'll learn. Yes, techniques are very practical thing. You need to understand them practically, then only you will be able to get the core concept why we are doing this and how we are doing this. First, rhythmic initiation. As the name itself suggests, initiation means to start. Rhythmic, you can say it is something that is turn by turn or one after other. If I have to give you simply what is rhythmic initiation, it is nothing but starting with passive motion, then moving to active assisted motions, then moving to active motion, and then moving to resisted motion. These are nothing but types of movements. Yes, you all learned this from first semester probably. Yes. पहला पैसिव मूवमेंट करावશું पेशेंट ने, सेकंड एक्टिव असिस्टेड मूवमेंट करावશું, थर्ड एक्टिव मूवमेंट करवा देશું पेशेंट ने, then we will resist it. Nothing else. If I have to brief it out, this is the summary for rhythmic initiation. So we will start with passive motion. Now why do we need to give passive motion? જ્યારે પેશન્ટના મસલ્સ કરી નથી શકતા, when the patient is unable to perform any motion, yes, at that time only we are going to provide such rhythmic initiation technique. Yes, so characterization: rhythmic motion of the limb or body through the entire range, starting with passive motion and progressing to active resisted movements. Yes, starting with passive, active assisted, active, and then resisted. Yes, if you follow these steps, the patient will learn motion. Now, neurological conditions hoy, orthopedic conditions hoy, we have seen this in mobilization and stretching also. It is not a miracle that we are providing. આપણી પાસે જાદુ નથી. Yes, so we have to remember this process takes time. Today if we are giving passive motion, કાલે active assisted start ના કરી શકાય. Yes, it takes time. There will be few days, weeks, or even months before you can move to the next step from passive to active assisted. Yes, it takes time. So always remember, do not be hurried. If the patient is not able to do, let him take time. Do as much as possible according to the techniques. What are the goals? First, aids in initiation of the motion. To initiate, to start. Coordination and sense of motion. Now, coordination is ability of an individual to perform smooth, purposeful movement. કાઈ પણ purposeful movement કરું છું. Say for example, I want to write, so I am trying to take this pen from here, yes, on the table. But if my motion is not accurate, or મારો હાથ આમ હલતો હલતો બીજો અહીંયા લઈ લે અને I'm not able to write, so this is termed as incoordination. I am not doing something that is smooth and accurate. Yes, that is incoordination. To promote coordination, જ્યારે પેશન્ટમાં incoordination હશે એને વધારવા માટે, સુધારવા માટે improve coordination and sense of motion. Sense of motion means ability of proprioception, nothing else. એને ખબર પડે કે motion કયા directionમાં થાય છે. Yes, if I am holding this, I have to write, so I should know how to write. Yes, so this is the sense of motion that my brain already has. Stroke ma or neurological conditions ma is sense vayu chai. Yes, one half of the brain is paralyzed, one half of the body is paralyzed. So because of that, the patient will not know how to do what to do. Yes, so that is to improve the sense of motion. Third, normalize the rate of motion. Rate means you can say speed. So that is also one of the component of coordination. A specific speed એ બધું થવું જોઈએ. Yes, if I am taking it too fast or too slow, if I am keeping my you can say the pen is here right on the table, if I am taking it too fast, that is also wrong. If I am taking it too slow, that is also wrong. It should be in optimal speed, so that is rate of motion. To correct it, also we need to give rhythmic initiation. To teach the motion, જ્યારે પેશન્ટને ખબર જ નથી કઈ રીતે કરવું, completely the muscles are paralyzed, you always start with passive movements. Yes, that is an indication of passive movements. And to help the patient to relax, so patient ne relax કરવા માટે, one of the effects of passive movements, yes, relaxation is induced because of the motion. So these are all the aims or goals for which we are providing rhythmic initiation. Indication. Yes, so come, key conditions now find. Difficulty in initiating the motion, that is complete paralysis. Movement too slow or too fast. Now you can see from goals, indications are same. Aid in initiation of motion, that is the goal. તો કેમાં દેવાય ડિફિકલ્ટી ઇનિશિયેટિંગ ધ મોશન ઇનિશિયેટ નથી કરી શકતું ત્યારે આ ગોલ થી લઈ શકાય રિધમિક ઇનિશિએશન. સેકન્ડ યુ કેન સે improve coordination and normalize the rate of motion. So rate of motion as you talk speed, so movement too slow or too fast ત્યારે indicated છે. From the goals directly indication તમને મળી જશે. Improve coordination, so uncoordinated or dysrhythmic motion. This means dysfunction, plus or minus, increased or decreased. That is dys. Rhythmic, so change in the rhythm, turn by turn or one after the other, whatever is to be done. એક પછી એક જે components activate થતા જ હોય એ patient થી નથી થતા. At that time you are going to provide rhythmic initiation. That is one of the indications. And general tension. So why general tension? To relax the muscle. So when the patient is or the muscle is under tension, increased tone, at that time you will be providing rhythmic initiation. Description. The therapist starts the movement passively through the range of motion using the speed of the verbal command to set the rhythm. So the patient should be told how it is to be done and you should command continuously. Passive movement કરતા હોય ત્યારે પણ patient ને commands આપવાના. That now I am going to move your wrist into flexion and extension. Yes. Look again, basic principles. તમારો tone, તમારો vision, તમારો manual contact, everything will come into play. Yes. So where you are holding gives you extroception. બહારથી sense આપશે અંદર કયા direction માં movement થાય છે. After this you start moving. So ask the patient to look at the hand to get the sense. Yes. And try to do it as much as possible actively. Yes, so these are one of the motions. Speed of the verbal command, basic principle. The patient is asked to begin to work actively in the desired direction. Whichever direction the patient we want to work, say for example from extension, we want only flexion to occur. Yes, so extension will be passive as much as possible. Then ask the patient now perform, try to perform and move the wrist into flexion. Extension, you will not give commands. Again, flexion, you will start providing commands and start moving the hand into flexion as much as possible voluntarily. The return motion is done by the therapist, that is passive. The therapist resists the active movement, maintaining the rhythm in the verbal command. Yes, so rhythm kay રીતે maintain કરવાની verbal commands. Now I'll be moving, I will start again commands, again 3 preparatory, active, that is action command, and third is the correction or corrective commands. Yes, so first you will show patient કે કઈ રીતે હું કરવાનું છું. First we are just talking about we want to start initiation. Yes, તો આપણે passively patient ને કરી બતાવશું કે આ જ રીતે હું movement કરીશ. First verbally you will show, then yourself you will show કે આ રીતે કરશું. Then you will hold the patient with their consent and start moving their part and tell them I'll be doing this motion. You have to perform from extension to flexion. Yes, I'm holding the wrist, I'm holding the radius ulna, distal aspect, and moving the hand into flexion and extension. Yes. Once you start, you have to ask the patient flexion માં વધારે જોર કરે, extension relax, because everything we are doing passively. Starting માં બધું passive કરશું, પણ આપણે જોઈ છે શું patient પાસે response જોઈ છે. So our tone will be higher when we are going to perform for flexion. So while from extension to flexion we are performing, we'll ask the patient to do it actively as much as possible. જેટલું થાય possible હોય કરો. Yes, so we'll ask the patient do wrist flexion, 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 bend your wrist, bend your wrist, bend your wrist, increasing tone. Yes, so following the basic principles. To finish, the patient should make the motion independently, that is actively. Once the movement is active, we move to other parts, that is resisted. The same example if I have to give for trunk, what we'll do, trunk extension in sitting. So when the patient is sitting, keep the trunk into flexion. Yes, passively આપણે flex કરશું. પછી એને ધક્કો મારીને ask the patient to do actively as much as possible, bring it into extension. Return motion, again passive. Yes, the same thing is described. Move the patient passively from trunk flexion into extension. So flexion will start karsu and move it into extension. The patient should be ideally sitting in high sitting position on the edge of the table. And then back to flex position. Let me move you up straight. Now let me move you back down and then up again. See the commands there. Yes, let me move you up straight. So from flexion to extension. Yes. You are asking the patient, let me move you from flexion to extension. So let me straighten you up. Yeah. Again, let me move you back down and then up again. So again and again, you are doing this passive motion. Once it is done, you move to the next command. That is, whenever the patient is relaxed and moving easily, ask for active assistant. Passively કરી લીધું, એના પછી છે active assistant. So active assistant, help me little coming up straight. So પેશન્ટ આમ છે અહીંયાથી સીધું થવા માટે પેશન્ટને કહેવાનું મને થોડીક હેલ્પ કરો, હું તો ધક્કો મારું જ છું, સાથે તમારે પણ જોર કરવાનું છે. યસ, સો હેલ્પ મી ગેટ યોરસેલ્ફ સ્ટ્રેટન અપ. નાઉ રિલેક્સ એન્ડ લેટ મી બ્રિંગ યુ ફોરવર્ડ. બટ રિટર્ન મોશન એક્સટેન્ડ થઈ ગયું, કમ્પ્લીટ એન્ડ રેન્જ આવી ગઈ, એક્સટેન્શન થઈ ગયું ટ્રંકનું. પછી પેશન્ટને કહી દેવાનું નાઉ યુ હેવ ટુ રિલેક્સ, આઈ વિલ ડુ એન્ડ મેક યુ બેક ઇટ અગેન. યસ, આપણે પેસિવલી પાછું લઈ આવવાનું છે, એમાં પેશન્ટને હેલ્પ નથી જોતી. પેશન્ટ should not work at that time, he should be relaxed. Bring resistance the motion, push up straight, let me bring you forward, now push up straight again. So active assisted થઈ ગયું, passive થઈ ગયું, active થઈ ગયું. Now we are going to perform for resisted. So for resisted what we will do, we'll keep the patient in flexion. Now we'll try to resist heart બંને પાછળ. Yes, this way they will be hold and we will resist and ask the patient to straighten up. Yes, so we are resisting the motion. આપણે આગળની બાજુ ધક્કો મારી છે, patient will do extension. Yes, but then again relax થઈ જાઓ, you bring it again forward. Yes, once it is done, again keep the hands, resist it, passively ask the patient to relax, bring it forward. So this is rhythmic initiation. Independently straighten up on your own, so that is active motion. Okay. Fine. Any doubts in patterns of PNF, upper limb, lower limb, principles of PNF, and the one technique that we learned, that is rhythmic initiation? Able to get it? Yes or no? Everyone reply in the chat. If you are not getting, let me will revise. That is fine. But if you are not getting PNF, no one is going to teach you with this depth in future. Yes. So if you don't get it, please let me know. Reply in the chat, everyone. Yes or no in the chat, everyone, please reply. Are you getting the main points that we are discussing? Revise for upper limb. Okay, okay, we'll revise. Anything else? Yes, respond. If you don't have doubt, then also please respond. Revise the uses of rhythmic initiation are we talking about? Which uses? Okay, first thing that we want to revise is upper extremity. Yes, so upper extremity, as you can see, okay, we do it for simple ones. This would help. Yes, see the screen, try to remember the motion. If it is D1, okay, I'm blackened out, I don't know. Okay. Yeah, okay, fine. So if it is D1, that is chopping method. So chopping method, remember you are grasping something and bringing it down. Yes, so this is flexion, this is extension. Yes, so this is flexion, this is the end position of flexion, so this is the starting position of extension. So this motion when I am doing, this is extension motion, this is the flexion motion. Yes, for flexion, abduction, external rotation, elbow flexion, wrist and fingers into flexion, moving wrist and fingers into extension, elbow extension, shoulder abduction, extension and internal rotation. This is D1 pattern. Coming opposite, the only difference is abduction, flexion, external rotation. Here with elbow is extension, wrist and fingers in extension. Try to grasp as much as you can while seeing the video. Yes, so that will help you. And then moving into, okay, one by one components we'll do. Wrist and fingers into flexion, elbow flexion, moving the hand to opposite pelvis, that is flexion, sorry, extension, adduction, internal rotation. Yes, so this is D2 pattern. I hope it is clear now. Yes, I'll be posting all the videos that we have talked about on YouTube, so you can watch it anytime because PNF is important. PNF is a must to know and it will help you in future also. Okay. Can we revise the uses? Which uses are we talking about? Partly. Which uses? Uses of the techniques, uses of the first technique that we saw, uses of the patterns are we talking about? Pattern. So pattern uses is more or less the same. You either teach the patient. Okay. So uses is something કે આ શું કામ આપણે use કરશું. So or શું કામ આ patient ને આપણે teach કરવું જોઈએ, શીખવાડવું જોઈએ. So the only reason is to allow them to do their functional activities of daily living. Yes. So that is the only one use. That can be done by various forms. You can teach the patient, say for example, both upper limbs are affected or one limb is affected. So if one limb is affected, you will teach on one side. Yes, but if both sides are affected, you teach on opposite, I mean both sides, and you can perform opposite motions. Yes, say for example, this is one of the opposite motions that you can perform, that is D1 flexion on one, D2 flexion on another. Along with that, you can do symmetrical involvements. Yes, symmetrical patterns on both upper extremities. So that is D2 extension that we perform, D2 whole patterns you can say on both things. This is important to do functional activities. Say for example, combing the hair, say for example, wearing or taking the shirts off, say for example, grooming purpose, say for example, anything. All the activities that you are performing even right now, they are done through PNF pattern. PNF patterns are nothing else but functional patterns. If you get this, this is the only use, nothing else. Patterns have specific, sorry, patterns do not have specific use. Techniques that we learn, the first rhythmic initiation that we have learned has specific uses. Yes, if we consider rhythmic initiation, so it will be helpful in paralyzed patient, in coordination when there is occurring. Rate is different compared to the normal slow or fast, as well as when the patient is not able to control the motion. Voluntary control is zero. At that time, we are going to use such techniques. First that we have learned is rhythmic initiation. I hope that makes it clear. Okay, rest of you got everything? Yes or no? Yes or no, everyone? Did you get everything? Whatever we learned today, did you get everything? Yes, yes. Only 2 replies out of 50 plus participants. Okay, okay. Still less than 10 replies I'm getting. If you are doing this or attending this for the purpose of attendance, please don't. I'll give you attendance if you request me. No need to attend. Good, okay. Fine. So we'll keep it till here. I don't want to overburden because techniques one by one if we learn, then only you will be able to remember. If you read, I do 7 techniques in one lecture, everything will be messed up and mixed together. Yes, so I don't want that. 2 techniques per lecture we'll try to keep so that you remember everything. And every day by evening, probably I'll be uploading the video on YouTube so that it will help you understand and revise on the same day. Yes, but do revise. That is only helpful. I guess everyone knows my channel on YouTube. If you don't, I'll send one of the links. I have uploaded all the 4 lectures we have taken so far, and we'll be uploading these 2 lectures that we have taken today also. Yes.